As society falls apart around us, it seems like our media is obsessed with the weird world of the wealthy. In Celine Song's new film Materialists, we get another tale of the haves interacting with the have-nots. This time, Dakota Johnson stars as a Manhattan matchmaker who has to choose between a rich and charming Pedro Pascal or a poor and charming Chris Evans. Here's my quick review. So on paper, Materialists could feel like a very typical rom-com where our main character has to choose between love and luxury. And that is kind of how it's being marketed, but that's not entirely accurate to what we get here. In reality, this screenplay has a level of cynicism that we wouldn't necessarily get in your average rom-com. There's a sequence in here where Dakota Johnson's clients at the matchmaking agency are giving her their checklist of what they want in an ideal mate, and it just feels like such an indictment of the modern dating scene where things are so commodified. It really rings true because we live in an era where people are basically reduced to like a profile on a dating app or like a series of analytics, and that doesn't really give you an idea of the connection you're going to have with anyone, which is something that I think other movies have done before, but I feel like this movie handles it in a very sort of pragmatic, practical, almost cold type of way that feels very real. Materialist does a pretty good job of balancing the genre with characterizations that feel a little more elevated, but it does sometimes fall victim to cliches and conveniences. It's difficult to conclude a rom-com in a way that doesn't feel super predictable, so there are a couple cliche moments in here where characters make decisions that don't feel entirely motivated, or things are repeated in a way that kind of messes with the tone a bit, which is something I think would feel a lot more clunky if we didn't have such a talented cast. So as someone who's not really a fan of rom-coms or romances in general, I did enjoy Materialists. It's a far cry from past lives, but I think there are enough interesting things going on in this screenplay to keep it engaging, even in the more cliche moments. So if you saw Materialists, let me know in the comments, who would you choose between Pedro Pascal and Chris Evans?